You know, Microsoft could be at the point where they literally destroy PlayStation. I mean, I know that all of us are kind of, whatever when it comes to like console wars and things like that, and I completely get that, and I, agree to an extent. It's just so funny to me that, stuff like this pops up and we see, Microsoft really kind of blow chances to do anything significant in that space. I hope that we see something in the future that changes, but I'm just not sure that that's what that's going to be, because from the looks of it, Microsoft is pretty much dead set on whatever they want to do at this point. And it's a shame because Sony is not doing great. I mean, we look at the Game Awards and we see, Sony really kind of, congrats to Astrobot. I think that's a good game. But then you look at like Naughty Dog is like a former shell themselves, and they're putting out stuff that just does not look appealing. And so when you kind of look at things from that perspective, you can see like where I'm standing, how this kind of goes, anyway. But I want to get into it. I think it should be an interesting video. What's up, everybody? I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you guys for checking it out. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that. It helps out the channel. Really does, help out the channel tremendously. I know people don't understand that, but it does a lot. So I do daily gaming content, at least one video, sometimes two. We'll see what's up. At the end of the day, if you're into like hearing about stuff gaming wise or whatever, then that's exactly what you're going to get. So very appreciative to everybody on that note. So again, Microsoft, their first party's cooking. So you can look at this as two ways. There's going to be some people that I think are just going to look at it, like, hey, our first party's going to get a ton of games next year. Although I think this probably does mean that there's going to be some type of delay for some of these games. It wouldn't surprise me at all if like Fable, for instance, gets pushed back into 2026, unfortunately, or something else. Who knows? But The Outer Worlds 2 was a big game that was announced at the Game Awards. It's coming 2025, so that's only a couple weeks away. That doesn't mean it's coming in a couple weeks, but it's going to come sometime next year. During the Game Awards, one of the biggest reveals was Surprise of The Outer Worlds 2. After largely being MIA since 2021, the quietness has been understandable. Developer Obsidian is very busy, and the game's resurfacing in 2024 has brought along with it another interesting wrinkle. The Outer Worlds 2 is now set to launch day and date on the PlayStation 5, and that is in and of itself the issue, right? So this game was announced as an Xbox PC, it was a console exclusive, and now it's launching day and date on PS5. And so people were really thinking that there was going to be like staggered releases and things like that because of the Indiana Jones situation. Let me be clear. The Indiana Jones situation where that's launching staggered on PlayStation is because they stopped development on the PlayStation version for a while there. So that was going to be, an exclusive. But now, obviously, I know some people go, oh, well, the first Outer Worlds game was, multi-platform or whatever. So it makes sense why this one is. But they announced it as, an Xbox console exclusive. So to me, that's kind of Bush League to go back and then kind of change it or whatever. But just for a second there, I want you guys to just imagine. I know there's this group of people that doesn't think, exclusives would, do anything or push any consoles, right? Which I've always thought that was nonsense, right? So Indiana Jones is great, but that's not exclusive. But imagine if it was, you have that to kind of go on. You're okay, so that's exclusive. Oh, great. That's could have been a game of the year candidate, honestly. And then you go into next year, and regardless of what people might feel, Avowed, I'm sure that's going to be received well. You go South of Midnight. You go Doom. I mean, Doom is always going to be great and well received. You do Fable. You do a Call of Duty game. You do, that Call of Duty was never going to be exclusive. I don't want that to be exclusive, but you have that from the first party. Now you have Outer Worlds 2. Like, all that stuff to be exclusive, with the exception of Call of Duty, would be tremendous. And Microsoft just dropped the ball with that. So I don't know. To me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to kind of do that. But and it would come in a time when Sony is struggling, in my opinion, tremendously. Like I played my PS5 18 hours last year or this past year, and again, I didn't play my Xbox as much. I did a lot of retro stuff this past year, but there just wasn't a lot. Things were, quote unquote, built for the modern audience or whatever, and so I wasn't really into that. But anyway, it was slipped in at the end of last night's gameplay debut with Sony's PS5 logo alongside the Series X and S, Game Pass, and Steam logo. So there's no indication of a staggered release, so anticipate the Outer Worlds 2 launching day and date on the PS5. Given that the first game was multi-platform in 2019 and wasn't even technically published by Xbox, even after Microsoft acquired the studio, some people aren't really surprised by the move considering the new direction. However, seeing the PS5 logo on Xbox game trailers is something that takes some getting used to. Back during Gamescom opening night live, Microsoft announced the staggered PS5 release of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, something that caused a great bit of controversy with Xbox fans. This move probably isn't quite as risky, but it's still interesting to see that Microsoft is seemingly going straight in for day one PS5 releases with the Outer Worlds 2. So again, we'll see how that kind of handles at the end of the day, but it really does kind of make sense to maybe look at the positive of this. And there is some positive, like if you're a Game Pass subscriber, like I said, I just named them off, assuming there's no delays. You're getting Fable, you're getting Avowed, you're getting South of Midnight, you're getting Call of Duty, you're getting Doom, you're getting Outer Worlds 2. That's a really good value. So we're going to look at that from that positive kind of standpoint. Now, for me, it missed the mark because you're not going to be able to have that ability to go out there and have all these games that are going to be like these great exclusives lined up, and I think that could be something that really kind of hampers what Sony's trying to do. Like Sony's not doing anything great. They might have a game or two finally after a long period of time, but at the end of the day, we're kind of sitting there thinking, hey, this is something that Microsoft kind of missed the ball on. But hey, still, if you're a Game Pass subscriber, and you're going to be able to play all this stuff on Xbox, even though like out of the 6 games, 3 of them are full-on multi-platform, day and date, games with that are going to PlayStation. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I do really feel like Microsoft missed the boat there, but it's still exciting, like I said, at least for this generation, which I'm going to ride out, just as I would normally with Xbox. I still have my Xbox. I'm not going to, dump my Xbox or anything like that, because I feel like, there's going to be good games, and of course there's going to be some stuff that probably will come to Xbox first, which I think is really cool at any rate. So, I hope that's the case with this. But again, I surprisingly loved the first Outer Worlds. It really surprised me because in actuality, I had more fun with the Outer Worlds, even though it was a much shorter game than Starfield, but I actually enjoyed Outer Worlds better. And a lot of people thought, like when I originally saw Outer Worlds, I thought, oh, that's Fallout in space or whatever the case may be, but it really wasn't that, you know what I mean? And my main issue with like the Fallout games that I've played, and I've tried to play Fallout 3 in New Vegas before, was that it just feels like when you're playing those games, you're just like constantly searching for ammo and things like that, and you find 4 bullets and there's like 10 enemies, right? I didn't have that issue at all with this game. Like, you can buy ammo, you can get, you know what I mean? It was like you find it everywhere. I had so much ammo, so much guns. It was crazy to me that it was like everything that you had in this game. So, again, I still think that is something that is really cool to see from Microsoft. I'm gonna stick with a little bit of the positive there. Yeah, they missed a little bit of the ability to do something there with being able to kind of really put Sony under the boot, but they missed that. But they still have 6 first-party games, assuming something doesn't get pushed back, and they're still going to have some smaller stuff like Towerborn or whatever. So I think they are firmly in that area where they are able to push games kind of the way that they want to, the big game every quarter or whatever. So from that aspect, I think it's cool. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys excited about the amount of games, or are you disappointed that, you know, they are actually, you know, putting that on PlayStation? Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.